laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite.
Look out! Look out!
And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Are you looking to hire an IT specialist or a logistics expert, a medical technician, or a security professional? Well, there are some very qualified candidates out there. America's Wounded Warriors. These men and women returning from battle are eager to get back to life at home and a good job. Some have wounds you can see, and some have wounds you can't see, like post-traumatic stress disorder. For these accomplished professionals, Wounded Warrior Project has developed the Warriors to Work program, a career counseling service that helps wounded warriors translate their military experience to the civilian workplace. These warriors have world-class job skills and a unique perspective on teamwork. And to ensure proper placement for each individual, Wounded Warrior Project works with employers to find just the right candidate for the job. When your company is looking to hire talented, highly trained employees, contact Wounded Warrior Project at findwwp.org. Welcome home the brave.
At Denny's, you can get 2 eggs, 2 pancakes, 3 pieces of sausage, and 3 pieces of bacon, all for $5.99. Now, before you say, wow, that's a lot of meat, know that this dish has its fan base right there in the name. This is for people who really love meat, the super meat lovers. So if you're a super meat lover who likes the idea of getting all the meat you love at a super low price, then the $5.99 Meat Lover Slam is for you. See you at Denny's. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only, no substitutions.
Sports is live and local every Saturday from 11 to 1.
Kawhi, him and his free agency, or him just sitting around waiting to sign with the team, had a lot to do with more than just the Lakers. There were other teams that were tied into this trade as well to determine their next moves. And for the Lakers, they still haven't finalized the Anthony Davis deal.
Sports Call with Jordan Glass and Davis Allen on your radio, on Facebook, and YouTube.
Southern California basketball is going to be what everybody's paying attention to this upcoming season.
At ESPN Pensacola 945. Sports is live and local every Saturday from 11 to 1.
This Toronto Raptor team deserved this championship because they played their butts off in the series.
Sports Call with Jordan Glass and Davis Allen on your radio, on Facebook, and YouTube.
Hey, maybe you played for losing teams growing up. You just maybe don't understand what it's like to be a champion like this. But guess what? Whenever you are the best team in the world, you're going to let everyone know you're the best team in the world.
At ESPN Pensacola 945.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the Sports Drive, 5 till game time weeknights. And hey, if your business would like to partner with us as an advertiser or with a local sports promotion, then give us a call at 850-262-6000 or shoot us an email from the advertise page on ESPNpensacola.com.
All sports, all the time. ESPN Pensacola, 94.5 WYCT Pensacola.
The following has been produced by Talk Football LLC. Former Florida Gators quarterback, NFL quarterback, and NFL head coach. Coach K. Stevenson has a resume second to none, and now he's sharing his insider information with you. Talk Football with Coach K starts right now on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
ESPN Pensacola 94.5. It is 12 o'clock on this Friday, July 12th. Welcome into Talk Football with Coach K. I am Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K. Coach, we got a lot to talk about on today's show, and we're going to get it started with Melvin Gordon, who is a guy who really stepped up for the Chargers offense last year. Wants a new deal done with the Chargers, and Coach, he's come out and he said that if he can't work out a new deal with the Chargers, he's going to request a trade, or actually, I believe the exact words were he was going to demand a trade.
Well, the NFL does not allow for that. The rules and bylaws don't allow for it. And think about it if it did, and everybody that might want to on a whim or because of some location or because of family or other reasons might want to move, and you got 50-something players on a team, you'd have total chaos all over the league. You couldn't do it. Now, he's a good back. Is he worth what he thinks he's worth? I doubt it. The thing that is important to have him is that he helps with Phillip Rivers. You know, his running ability helps to keep Phillip Rivers healthy. He doesn't have to throw the ball as much. That running game is very important to him. And so I think from that standpoint, he's probably more valuable than one might imagine. But I don't think it's going to happen. And if he wants to play it out, he wants to sit out the whole season, like the kid from Pittsburgh did last year. He's welcome to do that. But I don't see that happening. It's just another pay me deal. So you don't have to fight it out. You have to just go through it. That's all.
All right, Coach, and speaking of other players wanting to be paid and possibly deserving to be paid, we're going to take a look at Dak Prescott here, because the interesting situation with the Cowboys is not necessarily of can they pay Dak Prescott. We know that they can, but the problem comes is they also have Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, Jalen Smith, Byron Jones, all of those guys, and even Lael Collins. They're all in contract talks, Coach. So it's you've got only a certain amount that has to be spread throughout the team, which means either somebody's got to be willing to take a pay cut, somebody's got to be willing to move on away from the Dallas Cowboys. But Coach Dak Prescott seems to think that they can actually sign all those players and nobody takes a pay cut. He cites things such as gambling and everything new that's coming into the league. He said, it might actually be able to create opportunities to where there's a little bit more capital gain to where you can actually still pay all of these players and not have anybody take a decrease or anybody leave the program. Coach, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that because I don't see how much of the money from gambling is going to be going to the players. But, Coach, if you're the Cowboys, you got to look at this list, those top three names on the list. Yes, he's gotten in trouble a lot there with Ezekiel Elliott, but Amari Cooper, Dak Prescott, and Ezekiel Elliott have to be your top three targets out of that group.
Yeah, and you can't pay everybody. Just forget that. That premise that we'll just pay everybody. Forget it. That's like Medicare for all. It's impossible. You can't do it. So I don't know where they're going to go in Dallas in particular. I know he's going to try to wade through this and get it done. But you've also got a salary cap that you have to adhere to, and league rules. So keep that in mind. And this guy really, if you look at the whole big story for all of them, including the running back with the Chargers, where do you go? What do you do if football doesn't present this opportunity for you that you have right now and the money that you're making? Where do you go? What do you do? Is there something out there is there a job out there that's you just can't wait to get to that's going to pay you more than football, or that you enjoy doing more than playing football? Well, if there is, tell me and go do it. Mm-hmm. That's the way I look at it. And I used to tell coaches, looking for a security, and I've always told them before I hired assistant coaches, there is no security. If security is what you're looking for, let's go up to the post office and we'll get an application and get it filled out. And you get it takes an act of Congress to fire you from civil service, and we'll get you a job at the post office. But it doesn't happen in the NFL, and so that's part of the deal, and part of what you're being paid for. So I don't want to ramble on too much. All I can say is that you cannot pay everybody, and the people are going to have to be slotted based on. And there's an old axiom that you have to live by. You should live by. You're worth what the market will pay you. You're worth what the market will bear. That's what you're worth. Period.
All right, Coach. Let's move on away from that topic and get to some players that actually are happy with their contracts and aren't demanding more money or threatening to leave if they don't get it. Coach, you take a look at Sports Illustrated has a list of the top 10 edge rushers for 2019. Coach, we're going to run through this list, and we'll take a look at it. Number one, I think this one's a lot of people would have him at the top of their list. You've got Von Miller from Denver. Coach, he's sitting there at the top spot, and with the way he's played in the past, I mean, he's single-handedly the Super Bowl that Carolina and Denver played in. He was the big factor in that game, and the reason why Denver was able to win that Super Bowl, not necessarily Peyton Manning, but Von Miller. So I think a lot of people would agree with Von Miller sitting there at number one.
Yeah, I think so. I think a lot of people would feel he's maybe the premier edge rusher at this point. Yeah.
All right, Coach, how about at number two? You've got J.J. Watt from the Houston Texans.
J.J. Watt, I guess you could call him an edge rusher because he does it all. He rushes from outside, and occasionally they'll put him inside. Occasionally they'll stand him up as a linebacker. You know, he does it all. He's a very bright guy who understands the concept of the entire defense and has the athletic ability to do all that. Yeah, he's an amazing athlete out there. I'd hate to play against him. Yeah, I could see where he would be the second guy on the list.
All right, Coach, we'll move down to number three. You've got Khalil Mack from the Chicago Bears. This guy was really a key factor in why they were able to make a playoff push last season, and he's coming in for year two. If he can stay healthy, he can be an even bigger factor for that Chicago defense. So, Coach, no surprise once again here with Khalil Mack being in the top three.
It doesn't surprise me. He could be certainly 2 or 3, really.
All right, Coach, how about Cam Jordan following him? He's now with the New Orleans Saints.
There are a lot of people that think very highly of Cam Jordan, and I know they do in New Orleans, and I know some scouts that feel the same way. So he's certainly I think, slotted to be in the top 5.
All right, Coach, and then right there at number 5, you've got DeMarcus Lawrence from the Dallas Cowboys.
He's come on strong. I don't know if he really fits with the elite, but he did last year. So we'll look at last year and say that he fits there at number 5.
All right, Coach, and then at 6, you've got Joey Bosa from the Chargers.
Yeah, I like Joey Bosa. I like his brother coming out. I think Bosa is going to be a premier pass rusher in the league. Now, keep in mind, these guys are good in athletic ability and pure athleticism, and want to is absolutely a necessity with a pass rusher. But the longer they're there and the more they study opposing tackles and people who are blocking on them, the more they study techniques and how they can handle pass defenders without tipping what they're going to do from one technique to another. They get better at those things. It's like a great pitcher who can throw the heat when he's a young kid. He gets up there, throw the ball 100 miles an hour. But as he becomes a good pitcher, he develops a slider and a changeup and whatever, and learns how to pitch the location and so on. The same is true there with the pass rusher. Takes 2 or 3 years, I think, to really learn the position.
All right, Coach, then we'll move now to number 7. Following Joey Bosa, we head to Arizona and take a look at Chandler Jones.
Yeah, this is one guy that I'm not so sure that Belichick would like to have back. But no, Chandler Jones is, and he's just a really, really outstanding athlete. I think most of what he does is on athletic ability.
All right, Coach, heading now to number 8, you've got Yannick Njoku from Jacksonville. And, Coach, this is a guy that Jacksonville's really going to need to step up on that edge rushing part of their defense if they're going to have any kind of success in 2019.
You bet they are. They're going to have him step up. They didn't get the production out of the edge rusher that they got from Florida that they thought they were going to get. And this is their guy now. And of course, it helps that he's getting that push from the inside, the big tackles inside. They're having people can't just abandon those guys to get to an edge rusher, so that helps him out. He could use another edge rusher to develop on the other side, and that would help him even more.
All right, Coach. Speaking of players on the other side, we've got Joey Bosa already on this list at 6 for the Chargers. We go down to number 9. You've got Melvin Ingram sitting at 9 for the Chargers as well. So both ends for the LA Chargers, I should say, both on this list inside the top 10.
Yeah, the Chargers. We kept saying all year they're impressive. They're a good football team, and they've got an outstanding quarterback. Number 1, Melvin Gordon was having a great year. And they were playing lights out defensively. And that's part of it. They had those 2 people on the outside who could get after the passer. So if that holds steady this year, they're going to be a good football team again.
All right, Coach. And then rounding out the top 10, you've got, again, we talk about it for the Chargers having both end rushers on this list. Jacksonville has the same. Calais Campbell coming in at number 10.
Well, Calais Campbell's more of an inside guy. I don't see him on the edge. He's out there once every 8 or 9 snaps. He's more of an inside guy, and he is the guy I was talking about when I say helps the other side, the outside pass rushers, because they have to pay so much attention to him inside. He's huge. He's 6'8", 320 pounds, can run, big long arms, strong. Good athletic ability for his size, and tough guy. He can get after the passer, so they have to pay special attention to him wherever he lines up, and most of the time that's inside, so he puts pressure inside, which gives him a better shot outside.
All right, Coach, and some news here from the world of coaching. It looks like Frank Beamer and Steve Spurrier are back in the coaching ranks as head coaches in the Polynesian Bowl. Now, what this is the Polynesian Bowl takes place in Honolulu. It's played at Honolulu's Aloha Stadium, and this is basically a high school all-star game, and they have 2 teams. They have Team Ocean and Team Mountain. It looks like Coach Beamer will be the coach of Team Ocean, and Spurrier will coach Team Mountain. And this game will be nationally broadcast. It's a nationally broadcast game, much like the Under Armour All-American type game is kind of along the lines of what this game is. So, Coach, these 2 guys, Frank Beamer and Steve Spurrier, if you're going to have 2 guys that work with young high school players who are getting ready to go to the Division I college level and make that next jump in their football career, I can't think of 2 better coaches to have leading them during this all-star game.
It's going to be an experience, that's for sure. Spurrier should be Coach Ocean. He's got the place over there at Crescent Beach and spends a lot of time on the ocean over there at his beach house. But no, that'll be quite an experience for those kids to have Beamer, especially Spurrier. They're gonna have to get ready for action personified. Spurrier's on and off like he's great. They'll have a great time. That'll be a good experience for them. They'll learn quite a bit, and they'll have a great experience with it.
All right, Coach, we'll check in the clock. It's time for our first timeout, so we will take that quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have more Talk Football with Coach K coming up right after this on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
Sometimes your bank, your family, and your friends love you, but they don't have the money to help you. Sometimes we have chances to make money, but the old saying, you've got to have money to make money, rings true. At Pensacola Specialty Pond, we can help. If you have trucks, heavy equipment, airplanes, boats, jet skis, anything with value, Pensacola Specialty Pond can loan you that short-term money you need. No credit checks, and at Pensacola Specialty Pond, you're going to find the money and the discretion you need.
Now at 6428 Pensacola Boulevard, north of Car City. Call 432-9050, 432-9050.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
New Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline not only helps keep your engine running like new, it can also help you win big. When you fill up as a Fuel Rewards member, you'll be automatically entered in the Shell Great Gas giveaway after purchasing 8 gallons or more, where you can win one of thousands of prizes, including free fuel for a year. To join, download the Fuel Rewards app or go to fuelrewards.com/win. In engines that continuously use Shell V-Power Nitro Plus Premium Gasoline. No purchase necessary. Motion ends 9/1/19. See official rules at fuelrewards.com/win for how to enter by mail and all details.
Summer's here, and there's no better time to hit the road. At AutoZone, we've got the free services you need to drive with confidence, like our free AutoZone Fix Finder service. If your check engine light is on, our Fix Finder service will help troubleshoot the likely issue. And if you need help from a repair shop, we know some of the best. Want to maximize and restore lost fuel economy? Right now, buy 1 bottle of Chevron Techron Complete Fuel System Cleaner and get 1 free. Visit us at AutoZone.com and start the job fast with free same-day store pickup and free next-day delivery. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every $1 spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
July 12th, ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Welcome back into Talk Football with Coach K. I am Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K. We are having a lot of fun here on this Friday. It's a Friday that is 1 day closer to the start of college football season, and we are just, I believe, about 40-something days away, 43, 44 days away from the start of the 2019 as Alabama and Louisville were last year for the first game of the year. This is going to be Florida-Miami this year, and it's going to be a lot of fun when those teams square off in Orlando to get the season kicked off. Coach, I want to kind of continue to take a look at some college news as Sports Illustrated, and they have an article here that is talking about the top draft prospect from each position coming out of this college football season. Coach, there's a lot of SEC players on here, and Coach, we're going to start this off obviously at the quarterback position. You've got to take a look at it here, and Tua Tagovailoa, they say, is the top quarterback coming out at that position for coming through this college season and then going into the draft next year. They say that Tua is going to be the top quarterback. Coach, do you see Tua being the top quarterback, or do you think maybe there's a door open there for a guy like Justin Herbert or even a Jake Fromm to kind of slip in during the course of this upcoming season?
Well, the guy they keep talking about in relationship to Tua being number one is Justin Herbert at Oregon. You know, we've talked about that. Now, we're going to find out a lot about him right off the bat, that game with Auburn. But I would say Tua right now, without having really looked at Herbert, I would say Tua would be the first choice. first choice overall would be the kid at Clemson, but he can't come out.
All right, Coach, let's move now to the running back position. According to this article, Sports Illustrated has DeAndre Swift as the top running back. And, Coach, I think a lot of people that are familiar with the SEC and that have watched DeAndre Swift play would agree with that, but I think there might be some people inside the Big Ten or even the Pac-12 that may say that they have a couple of running backs that could be better than DeAndre Swift. But, Coach, you got to look at this realistically. DeAndre Swift is a guy who's going to be a big-time piece for that Georgia offense, especially with the talent that they've lost, whether it's at the receiver position or Elijah Holyfield there in the backfield. Coach, this is not only going to be a big-time piece for their offense, but this is also a guy that could be in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony at the end of the season.
No doubt about it. And listen, you got to look at the all-around back there. This kid is the game breaker. He's got the speed. If he gets a step on anybody's defense, he's going to break it all the way. He can run through tackles. He's elusive. You can make people miss. You can put him in the slot, especially in the slot. He runs good patterns out of the backfield, but you can also put him in the slot. And he runs good patterns, catches the ball well. He's just a very, very good all-around back. I like the kid. I mean, I certainly think at this point you've got to put him right up there with somebody's got to be pretty doggone good to pass him.
All right, Coach, how about the receiver position? According to this, it's a guy that, coming from Alabama, and, Coach, we've talked about it. We talked about it before the show, as a matter of fact. The receivers that are coming out of the University of Alabama, I mean, you look at it inside the NFL, you've got Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, and now you expect this guy to join the ranks with those guys next year when he is drafted. It's Jerry Jeudy, Coach, and this is a guy that the top receiver in the 2019 draft was taken at 25. You got to think Jerry Jeudy's probably going to be the top receiver taken, and he's probably going to be taken a good bit higher than that. And an example they give here is he could be used by the Giants as an enticing Odell Beckham Jr. replacement to help kick off that Daniel Jones era.
Yeah, I really like this kid. Again, now look at what we're talking about. We're talking about a big kid who can run, has exceptional speed, has great body control, good hands, all the receiver skills. You know, one of the easiest positions, nothing's easy, I shouldn't say that, but if there is any such animal as easy to evaluate, to me it's the receiver position, because they have to be so fluid, the eye-hand coordination, the hip flexion, being able to turn on the balls, the hands themselves, the positioning of the body, the speed, all those things are easy to see with the receiver position. At least I feel that way. And he's a good one. He's not only a good one, he's a very good one. So again, you're going to be pretty good to beat him out.
All right, Coach, let's head now to the tight end position on this list. And, Coach, they have from Missouri, so once again the theme of an SEC player continues here. It is Albert Okwuegbunam. And I probably butchered his last name, and for that I apologize. But he is a 6'5" guy who is a big-time elite red zone target. He can use his body frame and his height to go up and catch a fade in the end zone. So, Coach, Missouri's going to have a tight end there that's going to help out Kelly Bryant a lot in the passing game, especially once they get into the red zone. But, Coach, again, the catch-22 with that, with a guy like Kelly Bryant at the quarterback position, how much are they actually going to be throwing the football?
Yeah, and there's some other tight ends that are coming out. So this kid's got great size, which is one of the things you look for. But you got to have some skill other than just size, and obviously he does have that. But your point is well taken. There are not going to be a lot of throws to the tight end or anybody, I don't think, with that offense. But we'll see how he plays. Certainly by size, he's got a chance to be a big one, good one.
All right, Coach, how about on the offensive line, the best offensive lineman coming out for the 2020 draft, expected to be Walker Little, the offensive lineman from Stanford. Now, of course, Coach, you've got plenty to choose from Alabama. You've got Andrew Thomas from the University of Georgia, a guy who's 6'7", 315 pounds. But, Coach, they are listing Walker Little from Stanford as the top offensive lineman. And again, Coach, you take a look at what Stanford likes to do. Stanford, quarterbacks, running backs, and offensive linemen are kind of their bread and butter when it comes to top players inside the NFL. So, Coach, you take a look at this, and Is it surprising to you that the top offensive lineman or expected top offensive lineman in the draft for next year is from Stanford?
No, it does not surprise me at all. He's certainly got the size. Now, I like the kid Thomas from Georgia. I really think he's going to be an exceptional player in the pros. But this kid has not only size, but he goes to Stanford. He's going to be extremely intelligent. Probably has a lot of football savvy about him. I haven't really seen him or looked at him to the extent that you would evaluate a player, but my guess is he's pretty doggone good player.
All right, Coach, moving to the defensive lineman on this list, the expected top defensive lineman, according to Sports Illustrated, a guy who is 6'4", 316 pounds. We've talked about him before. Derek Brown from Auburn, Coach. He's popping up on all of these lists. Derek Brown expected to have a big 2019 for the Auburn Tigers, and that carry on into a good combine. And a lot of people expecting him to be a top defensive lineman pick inside the NFL draft.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of publicity, that's for sure. A lot of people talking about him. I'm going to do some more research on him. I said I would. I want to do some more research and see what a couple of people that cover this area, a couple of scouts that I have some confidence in, and see what they have to say about him, because he is really, really getting a lot of publicity, and I haven't looked at him to the extent that I want to watch this guy, really concentrate on this guy, watch him play, see how he does with taking on blocks, running to the football, making the plays, and doing the things that you'd want to see a great football player do. So I haven't looked at it like that, but I will talk to some people. I will get some additional information because we keep talking about him here. It keeps coming up, and I'll get that information.
And, Coach, in 2018, he did have 48 tackles and 10.5 tackles for losses. So he is starting to kind of grow as a presence there on that Auburn defensive line. All right, Coach, let's look at an edge rusher here. I think, obviously, they're looking at Derek Brown as more of an inside guy as he's a defensive tackle. For an edge rusher, Coach, we talked about Nick Bosa from Ohio State last year. That trend's going to continue with Chase Young from Ohio State this year.
Yeah, and we've seen him pop up quite a few times. I think he's a great athlete, is what I'm hearing. Don't know much about him other than that, but he's obviously a good football player. And he's certainly on the radar screen, everybody's radar.
All right, Coach, how about we head to the linebacker position now? And, Coach, it seemed last year Clemson dominated the defensive line position with 3 or 4 guys being taken there in the first round from the defensive line at Clemson. But, Coach, you take a look at it this year. Expected to have the top linebacker coming out into the draft as Isaiah Simmons from Clemson is Sports Illustrated's pick to be the best the linebacker in the draft.
Yeah, and he's another guy that we want to get some additional information on. We're setting the stage right now for the season, and to help our listeners out there know a little bit about some things that are expected from certain players and certain teams as they're preparing now to get ready to play. Make us all maybe a little more knowledgeable about the game itself and also the people that are playing it. So I'll get some more information on him. He certainly has gathered a lot of good information. I mean, good publicity, no doubt about it. And the next guy too.
Absolutely, Coach. We've talked about, we've gone over a couple of different lists like this throughout the week, and Coach, this guy's popped up on every single one of them, and we even looked at a couple of lists inside Lindy Sports Magazine. He was on those lists as well. Coach, it's Grant Delpit from the LSU Tigers. He's a safety, and Coach, he's perhaps one of the most versatile safeties in college football. He's a guy that can defend the pass in the back end, but he can also come up and stop the run as well. A lot of people are expecting him to join Jamal Adams and Patrick Peterson as top 10 picks from LSU.
Yeah, he'd have to be a good run player as well as a pass defender. And keep in mind that LSU defense could very well be a top 5 defense in the nation. If that's the case, if that's the case, if their new offense is as potent as they hope it will be, if their quarterback has the year that he could have, they just got all the tools there, they could win the national championship.
All right, Coach, and again, we are just about 43 or 44 days away from the start of the 2019 season, and we will start to see some of these players that are on these lists play, and we'll see how they continue to develop inside college football, moving towards the next step of their career, making it to the NFL. All right, we're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, more Talk Football with Coach K coming up next right here on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. And also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
Hey, people at my friend's company got blackmail emails.
Yeah, it's a popular type of spear phishing attack.
Wow, that sounds serious.
It is. Scammers claim to have compromising information, like a video, and threaten to share it with their contact list, unless the victim pays a ransom.
What if they target someone at our company?
We're secured. Barracuda Sentinel uses artificial intelligence to block spear phishing attacks, including blackmail emails.
Well, that's a relief.
Protect your business at barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
Your home is important. That's why Geico helps make it easy to save on condo insurance. Because home is more than just a place. Home is where you took minimalism too far because there's only one chair in your entire condo and your only entertainment is one card. Not even a deck of cards, but a single card. And all your guests have to share one plate and one fork, but you're convinced that less stuff means more freedom. The Geico Insurance Agency could help protect the overly minimalist broom closet you call home. Call Geico and see how easy it is to switch and save on condo insurance.
Pros do it right by grabbing everything you need in one stop, so you're spending more time on the job site than away from it. Lowe's is here to help by stocking job lot quantities of treated lumber, fencing, and decking, so you can load up on what you need no matter how big the job. Plus, for your next paint job, stop in and get 5-gallon pails of Valspar ceiling paint for just $99. Whatever you need to do the job right, do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Paint offer valid through 7/24, U.S. only.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
.35 Friday, July 12th. It's ESPN Pensacola 94.5, and you are listening to Talk Football with Coach K. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K, and we are rolling through today's show and want to continue to just kind of bounce around from different things. We've kind of talked a little college, a little NFL, a good mix of both on today's show. I want to go back to the NFL, Coach, because I want to take a look at the NFC West. The NFL.com has released their kind of preview of the NFC West, and we're going to kind of go through this here and talk about the way that they kind of see some things playing out. Basically, they're looking at 3 categories for each team. They're looking at the position battle, the best newcomer and returning player, and then, of course, the biggest question heading into camp. So, Coach will start it off. The NFC West for the Arizona Cardinals. Obviously, the biggest position battle is going to be at the wide receiver position. They're looking to start a new pass-happy, air raid offense there under Cliff Kingsbury, especially with Kyler Murray. Coach, they already have Larry Fitzgerald, but he is 35. He's getting a little older. They bring in guys like Christian Kirk, Andy Isabella, Hakeem Butler, Keyshawn Johnson. Coach, guys like that are being added to this team to kind of help with that passing game. Coach, it's going to be interesting to see how this receiver position and this receiving core develops over the course of the 2019 season.
Well, it is, and keep an eye on this Isabella. I really like him. I think he's going to be another one of the outstanding slot receivers in the NFL, and we've seen quite a few of them with New England, with the Colts and Denver. So I think he's going to be another great slot receiver. That helps the quarterback too because you get the ball off quick. You don't have to throw it downfield usually as much. So could be a help to the quarterback. Now they're gonna fire the football around, throw the football around. It's going to be interesting to see how they do, but they better buckle up because it could be a long season.
That's right, Coach, and obviously their biggest newcomer here listed as Kyler Murray. You got to think that's agreeable right there. Maybe you could look at a guy like Andy Isabella, who's going to be a big-time, potential big-time playmaker for them, I should say. But, Coach, you got to think Kyler Murray right now for this team at this point in time has to be the biggest newcomer to that roster. And then, of course, their looming question for camp is how is David Johnson going to be deployed? That running back position, not necessarily one that Cliff Kingsbury uses that much unless it's in the passing game. So, Coach, how will David Johnson be used for this Arizona offense is going to be their big question heading into camp.
Well, he's going to have to be a major contributor to the passing game, no doubt about it. Whoever's going to play back there is going to have to be able to protect. Number one, they're called on to protect. Many times they're not. They hot a lot of things and let backers come free. And he's going to have to catch the football and make people miss. So I think he's going to be judged more in the passing game than the running game.
All right, Coach, so let's move now to your NFC champion LA Rams. Coach, their biggest and most important position battle is going to be happening right there at the safety position. Coach, they did bring in guys like Eric Weddle and LaMarcus Joyner. And it's going to be interesting to see who ends up playing and getting that starting spot there with the number ones for the LA Rams when it comes to playing safety. Their biggest newcomer got to be Clay Matthews, bringing in the big-time defensive player from the Green Bay Packers. He's going to be able to help them a lot. Oh, by the way, he's a USC alum, so he is heading back to where he played his college ball at there for the LA Rams. And, again, Coach, the biggest question for the LA Rams, Todd Gurley, his overall health. Is he going to be able to be that de facto stable horse running back that they need him to be?
I couldn't agree with you more. If he is back to 100%, now we heard something pretty discouraging. I think it was a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
And that the doctors have said he has an arthritic condition. Mm-hmm. That usually means chronic pain. Okay. They can deaden it at times and get some of the pain out of there so he can play. But it's a deteriorating type situation too. So I really think he's got a major hurdle to overcome there. But if he can get somewhere near or back to where he used to be, that's going to be a major, major plus for him. I think guys like Weddle coming in and the linebacker from the Packers coming back. And keep in mind, they're going to be helped quite a bit by Wade Phillips being the defensive coordinator. Wade can take these guys. He knows exactly what they can do best, and he can fit schemes around them. So they're both very fortunate. They're both leaders, so that's going to be a plus. And then he'll fit things around them and not ask them to do things that maybe they're not capable of doing anymore. I don't believe Matthews is capable of doing what Green Bay had asked him to do for many, many years. He's beyond that point. He can still be productive, but he's probably beyond that point. And see, people, the average fan thinks that when you come into the league, you're 21, 22 years old, and when you get ready to retire, you can do the same things you did at that age, and you can't do it. Your game has to be tailored to your age and your ability to contribute. And that's why I make the point that I think Wade is a major factor for the Rams, because he can work with those guys and help make them all they can be, and they can be quite a bit in the way of leadership too.
All right, Coach, how about the San Francisco 49ers? You take a look at their biggest and most important position battle. Again, it's going to be the running back position, Coach. You take a look at it. Tevin Coleman has made his return to San Francisco. Jerick McKinnon is there, as well as Matt Breida. But Coach, you take a look at it. They've got that trio of backs right there, but only one football. So, Coach, the biggest battle right there is going to be who gets the most touches at that running back position. Top newcomer, Coach, of course, that's going to be Nick Bosa from Ohio State. And their biggest question, much like the Rams with the health of Todd Gurley, how healthy is Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well, I think Garoppolo's got a chance to be in a much healthier position than would be a running back, especially a big, tall running back. But Garoppolo is the key to that football team, no doubt about it. And for those backs, it's not only the running game, but how well you protect that quarterback, and how well you fit into the passing game. Because again, I think the quarterback situation there is going to be outstanding. I maybe shouldn't say this, but there's a good chance that their quarterback is going to be the most potent quarterback in that division. I think that's pretty tough to say, because you got Goff and you've got Seattle. Russell Wilson. And got two excellent quarterbacks there. I like them. I like all three of them. But this Garoppolo, I'm telling you, what he's done in a short time, as I look at the quarterback position, and what he's done, the productivity from short to long to medium passing game, fitting it in the window, dropping it down the chimney, he's done it all. And I like what he does. I like his demeanor. He's a tough kid, so look out. He could make a huge difference.
All right, Coach. How about the Seattle Seahawks here? We take a look at them again, Coach. The running back position. You look at Pete Carroll. He's not one that's he's not one that's really kind of been known for his great running backs. He's had a couple here and there. Obviously, he had Reggie Bush when he was at USC as the head coach. He had Marshawn Lynch at Seattle, but Coach, for the most part, he's kind of done it running back by committee. But Coach, he doesn't even really have that much of a committee to look to this year at that running back position. So they're going to need somebody to step up and become the it back for the Seattle Seahawks. Because here's the thing, Coach, is that you've got a guy in Russell Wilson back there that is going to be able to make plays, but he's got to have weapons to help him make plays. And that is definitely a position where they need some help at. And also, Coach, the biggest newcomer, DK Metcalf, you talk about guys that are going to help Russell Wilson make plays. Being able to draft him from Ole Miss, that was a big pickup for them.
Well, we're going to see. He's certainly got the athletic ability. He's got the speed, no doubt about it. He can get down the field, and they're going to lay the ball up to him. But does he come down with the ball? We don't know that yet. And there's some people now. I will just tell you, there are some scouts, I've talked to a couple of them, who don't like Metcalf. They think he's a very gifted guy athletically, but they don't think that he's an all-around receiver. So I'm going to reserve judgment and see how he has to be able to catch the football. I don't care how fast he can run,
right,
and all the other things. He has to be able to go in and fight for the ball, catch the ball, make some big catches. Their real key to success, to me, is Russell Wilson. But they call on him to do so much. And I would agree with you. I think the running back position is important, because if they can help him with a running game, then they're not asking him to win the ball game, both passing and running, which in many cases over the last couple of years, they go into the ball game and he's the leading rusher and he has to throw for 300 yards.
Right.
and that's quite a chore to keep up in the NFL. He's a very gifted, highly competitive guy, but you can't keep asking him to take that on himself.
All right, Coach. I want one more question about Seattle, and this is actually according to NFL.com, their big looming question. Coach, you take a look at Brian Schottenheimer there as the offensive coordinator. Look, he had goes of it at New York with the Jets, and also in St. Louis with the Rams, and in the SEC even with Georgia. But Coach, none of them seem to pan out. He's heading into year 2 as the offensive coordinator for the Seahawks. Coach, do you expect Brian Schottenheimer to be able to make this offense, or be able to allow this offense to take that next step and improve in year 2? Or is Brian Schottenheimer one of those guys that maybe he's not quite the guy to be in there and get that job fixed?
That's a very, very good question. Now, you have to understand. You look at Schottenheimer, son of
Marty. Yep.
Marty Schottenheimer. By the way, an old teammate of mine is Marty Schottenheimer. And then you've got so many sons that, it's amazing. Shula had a couple. One of them bombed out and went back to the restaurant, and the other, of course, had a shot at Alabama, but he's still coaching around. But none of them, they inherit a lot from mom and dad, but they don't necessarily get that particular gene.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think Schottenheimer has the overall background. I don't think he played. I don't think he's ever really come up through the ranks as a coach and a scout, and to do all the things that coaches are asked to do on their way up. So there's a big question mark there. Your question is certainly deserving, and it's a good observation, because I really can't answer that question. Maybe he's going to be able to do more. Bevins was the offensive coordinator there, and he and the head coach were very, very tight for a long time. But anyway, Schottenheimer's there, so we'll see how it goes. But I don't know how he's going to do.
All right, Coach. Well, on that note, only time will tell, and we'll take our first time out. Speaking of time, and we'll be right back with more Talk Football with Coach K coming up right after this on ESPN Pensacola 94.5.
I'm attorney Stephen Luongo with Levin, Papantonio, Thomas, Mitchell, Rafferty, and Proctor in Pensacola, Florida. Distracted driving is a dangerous epidemic on America's roadways. In 2016 alone, over 3,000 people were killed in motor vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers. This according to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration. For more information, please visit us today online at levinlaw.com. Please be safe on the roadways. Stop the text, stop the wrecks.
When you're looking for a great deal on a reliable new or certified pre-owned vehicle, you can't beat Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola. Bob Tyler Toyota has the best selection in town at incredible low prices. You can check out their amazing inventory from Camrys to Tundra trucks to 4Runners. It's all at Bob Tyler Toyota, and you can find it online at bobtylertoyota.com. Also score a touchdown this football season with the car of your dreams. Again, it's only at Bob Tyler Toyota in Car City, Pensacola.
There's only one place in town for the lowest prices and greatest selection of firearms. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Visit our fully stocked Gun Pro shop for new and used firearms, accessories, and ammunition. Check out the Indoor Shooting Range. We offer rentals on guns, including fully automatic machine guns and silencers. Ladies, this is the safe place to learn how to use a gun. Plus, Tuesday is Ladies' Day. Women shoot for half price all day. The best place to buy firearms in Pensacola. Pensacola Indoor Shooting Range. Highway 29 in Car City.
At Indeed, we believe a resume is a great way to see an overview of a candidate, but you're not hiring a resume, you're hiring a person. That's why Indeed offers tools that help bridge the gap between a candidate and the resume, like skill tests, which let you actually see a candidate's abilities in action to make sure they're a good fit for the job. See beyond the resume with Indeed. Experience Indeed for yourself today and get a free sponsored job upgrade on your first posting at Indeed.com/promo. Terms and conditions apply.
Hello, sports fans. Miles Bentley here, General Manager at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Pensacola. Growing up, I always loved sports. Nothing but net, out of the park, through the uprights. Sink the Puck Bentley, that was me. But my love of the game couldn't beat my love for Pensacola and helping folks get on the road of dreams in a new Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Sure, I never went to the big leagues in sport, but we're all pro here at Hill Kelly Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Proud to be in Pensacola.
Don't drop the ball this football season. Make Tom Thumb your game day destination. We are your first round pick for snacks, chips, dips, and drinks. Are you tailgating before the game? Don't get blindsided. Head to Tom Thumb for all your supplies. Score big savings with our rewards card. You'll earn 4 fuel points for every dollar spent in store. From hot dogs and buns to ice and propane, Tom Thumb has you covered to help you enjoy the game. For the ultimate game day, team up with Tom Thumb, the local store for local champions.
.52 on Friday, July 12th here at ESPN Pensacola 94.5. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talk Football with Coach K. I am Jordan Glass, joined alongside me as always, Coach K, and we are rolling through the show. Got about 6 minutes left in the show for today, and Coach, lots of things that we went over for the past week, getting you ready for the season coming up, whether it's NFL or college, whichever one you're a fan of. I know college is king here in this area, so most people are SEC or ACC fans. Coach, I want to bring up an interesting topic, and it's something that we talked about on the Sports Drive a couple of nights ago, and you may have talked about this with Chad yesterday on the show, but there was an interesting story that came out involving Mack Brown and Nick Saban. Supposedly, according to a former Regency at Texas, Nick Saban actually reached out to his agent, Jimmy Sexton, and Jimmy Sexton then reached out to the Regent and told him that Nick Saban was interested in the job, that if Mack Brown did retire or step down, that there was some interest there, because Nick Saban is a guy, as it was put by the Regent in his quote, basically he's kind of a fixer-upper guy. He's going to go to a program that's been down. He's going to fix it up, win championships, and then he's going to move on to the next program and to leave a successful program for the next guy to enjoy. But, Coach, you take a look at it, and this was a situation where the booster basically said he went and met with Mack Brown, told him what the situation was. Mack became furious and said, no, Nick Saban's not coming in and coaching my players, and that basically ended the Nick Saban to Texas potential that could have been there. And, Coach, while this is a great story and all, and it's that time of year where we get these types of stories, I'm not entirely sure how much of this story I believe, because you would think that if somebody that is connected to the Texas athletic program, if they know that a guy like Nick Saban wants to be a part of their program, wants to be the head coach of their football program, why would you go to Mack Brown instead of the athletic director? I would think that would be a move to where you would rather go to the athletic director instead of Mack Brown. But, Coach, I don't know. This whole story just seems like something that was brought out of left field just to kind of get some attention towards a certain group or a certain party.
I don't believe any of that. And let me tell you, the things that go on, there's so many things that go on that people should realize. I am certain that the agent, now he represents an awful lot of coaches in particular.
Does.
In fact, most of them, the bulk of all the coaches. His job is to keep things open, all options and alternatives open at every level. Now, there are a lot of coaches that would like to have him out there trying to find openings for them because they need to go somewhere. They need a job. But his big kahuna, what would be the real big moneymaker for him, would have been if Saban had gone to Texas. They've got an awful lot of money in that program out there, and he could have demanded a ton. I don't think Saban would have ever left Alabama. But and I don't think Saban had anything to do with enticing that move. I think it was the agent trying to open the box to see just how big it was. And now he could have gone to somebody at Texas and said, I don't even know if that's true. But he could have just said, find out for me just out of curiosity what might be involved here if this were the case. So anyway, I wouldn't think there's anything really serious about that at all.
All right, Coach, and we do want to say congratulations. On Wednesday we talked about Jimmy Valvano and the ESPYs and everything that was going on with that. It was ESPYs Day on Wednesday all across for any ESPN affiliate and especially the major network, as they had the ESPY Awards later on that night. But they were also doing some fundraising for the V Foundation, which of course is the foundation named after Jimmy Villano. And Coach, the Jimmy V Award was given to a high school football coach. And his name is Rob Mendez, and Coach, he has no limbs, no arms, no legs, confined to a wheelchair, but has not let that stop him coaching. And Coach, it's just the absolute incredible, great story here. And if you have not been able to go watch his speech yet, if you've not been able to watch and learn about this story, I encourage you to, because Coach, just really overall a great story here, and congratulations to him once again.
Yeah, I watched the ESPYs, most of it the other night. Some of it was okay. Some of it was very good. But yeah, you're right. I mean, this guy's amazing. But I don't know where they go from there, other than he's been given an awfully good opportunity, and he's well deserving and works at it like heck, and it just goes to show you what you can do.
All right, Coach, and we do want to, speaking of the ESPYs, while we're on this topic, we do want to say congratulations to Kirstie Enos as well. She is actually, some of you may know, she was actually from the Milton area. She lost a leg in service to our country, and she actually was the recipient of the Arthur Ashe Courage Award for everything she's done. As she continues to, she's used what's happened to her as a way to bring kind of awareness to wounded warriors and veterans and things like that. So again, somebody from right down the road in Milton taking home an ESPY. We want to say congratulations once again to Kirstie Enos as well.
Absolutely, by all means. What she's done is just nobody would have ever thought it. I mean, how many people would enter into that same commitment? You could certainly count them on one hand.
Absolutely, Coach. Absolutely. All right. We are going to close out the show here in just a little bit. But, Coach, real quick, I want to ask you, we talked about Melvin Gordon to start off the show. He's demanding a new contract with the Chargers. If he doesn't get it, he wants out of L.A. Coach, does he re-sign with L.A. and get a new deal, or are we going to see him on a different team?
Oh, if he was to play, he's going to re-sign with L.A. and he'll get a deal when they give it to him. And that's the way it should be.
All right, Coach, that is going to do it for today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Talk Football with Coach K. I'm Jordan Glass. For Coach K, you guys have a great weekend. We'll talk to you on Monday.
This is Pensacola's hometown all-sports station and home of the Blue Wahoos, ESPN Pensacola 945. Catch all the Wahoos games home and away all season, plus all the latest Wahoos news from Chad Brilliante on the